in the open bracket, Joe. They are going on a bit of a run.
Yeah, obviously that game number 1, it was like 250 to 200, so a very close game. Splyce, they're still in this tournament. I feel like we forgot about them a little bit. You know, the best team in Europe right now, doing very well. Now they have a 2v1 situation. They should be able to make this a 5-4 in their favor.
Oh, will they? 15 seconds left. Mad Cat versus Attach.
Oh, he didn't bait. Oh, it's good. It was a good try though.
I think he sticks that. Pick it up and stick it.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Yeah, Mad Cat didn't even check it. I think if he sticks that he wins the round, but 5-4 now for Splyce. And
it is worth mentioning as well, let's not forget, Splyce went to a Game 5 with Optic Gaming earlier on in the day, and they beat them on London Docks as well. So if you're an Optic Gaming fan and you're thinking, oh, well, you know, we'll get the losers bracket final, don't worry about that. I would be a little bit worried, Chance.
Yeah, I mean, so far as I'm concerned, Splyce should have won that. They had like a pretty poor streak usage that, honestly, I think kind of cost them the game. But of course, bygones be bygones. I'm sure what-if situations, any number of things you can say in that regard. But still, it's worth mentioning. Yeah, Splyce definitely can do it.
And I think the big thing is, I'm sure there's some Splyce staff who watched that Optic Gaming TK match. If they're able to get through this and play Optic Gaming in that losers bracket final, they have all the information that they need. They know how TK was able to beat Optic Gaming. They can make those adjustments in the veto process.
And that's the same point, Ray, you were making a few moments ago about that veto process, about changing it up, adapting to who you're playing.
Right, information throughout the tournament is really helpful to all those guys. I think that we're going to see that develop through a year as well, as people pick up analysts or whatever coaches on each team really keeps track of what teams are doing so they're ready for the matchup. It just seems like that's going to become a really important phase, because you want to be good at every mode, and teams have their comfort, but as you go through the year, teams kind of start figuring out what they should be doing on every mode and make it work better for your team.
Tommy and Attach, 1v1, 9 seconds left. Tommy not going to be able to find that pick.
Can these guys just take the bomb defuse, please?
No, Joe, it's
He didn't check it for 8 seconds. He would have won.
Yo, that would have been a defuse, Joe.
We're going to round 11.
You should be playing.
We love round 11s.
We do love round 11. We've had a fair amount of round 11s. Love a good Game 5 round 11, though, won't lie. But as it stands again, to reiterate, Splyce 1-0 up in the series. This map 2, all square, 5-5. Chance, who's your money on?
Probably Splyce. They got offense. Offense is a little bit more dominant on St. Marie, but of course, you got to be able to dodge the nades. I haven't seen the entire game, don't know what the nade strats are, but Faze actually playing very aggressive into the site, and that's not good for Splyce.
I love this from Faze, man. Like this, you have to be able to make changes when the round goes, and like we said, B is probably the more dominant side on this map, and them playing aggressive is a perfect thing. That you don't expect that from a round 11 team, especially on Splyce's side this round. We saw a couple rounds from them really playing passive on the Faze side, and they just broke that instantly right at the start.
Yeah, so as soon as Splyce sees that, Faze has B control, they instantly have to get out. Replays, he was playing A on that lone site, able to pick up first blood. So that was a very important intel known. Vance, can he get another kill? Makes two players so weak. He almost has 14-12 right now, but Jert is able to trade it. He picks up that assist, 2v2 now at 35 seconds.
Time is of the essence. Splyce, of course, on the attacking side, they must plant the bomb here in this round 11. And you can see the way, looking at the minimap, how this is starting to develop. If you're Splyce, you got to go now, Joe.
Yeah, and if you look at your mini-map, so whoever number 8 is that is attached, he has across the A. This is a big kill. Priesta already in that B bomb site. This should be it. They know they have bomb down. That was a great play by Faze. They knew Attach had that cross to A.
On Ardennes Forest. And bear in mind, coming into this, Faze clan unbeaten in this game mode, Chance.
Yeah, and it seems watching their gameplay, they really don't make many mistakes, if any at all. I think the problem just for them is, occasionally gunfights just don't go your way, but very close to flawless gameplay overall.
It is worth mentioning, Faze did have one flag pull in the first half, Ray, but unfortunately, they were not able to capitalize upon it. Splyce had streaks.
Yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, it was Jert who had streaks, called a fighter strike, and ended up stopping the flag, and they made a really smart play of smoking the flag out and actually getting the cover to make sure it returned, because the flag was almost halfway out. But yeah, like kind of what Chance said, Faze is just fundamentally sound in CTF. They really don't make that many mistakes. They move around the map as a team, and every time they feel like they have an advantage, they don't throw too many players to get in the flagpole. You all see like replayers and other likes of a player make sure they get the cuts and make sure they're not in a position where they're overextending themselves to make sure they get the cuts when they pull the flag out. I think, which is super important, because that also, if you don't get the flag out, then you still retain map control. If you throw too much into your team and they stop your pull maybe with a 2 or 3 piece, then you end up kind of being stuck at your own base after that. So they're always in a positive situation around the map, and that's really the key to success in CTF.
Yeah, and that was a great 4 down from Faze, great defensive hold. And this was really the side that Faze just absolutely dominated teams on. So really what they do, they have replay set up around that cabin. The other guys push towards those ruins. As you can see, there's that setup right now. It is Zuma, and he's actually pushing it through. Replay's helping him out, and this could be a flag attack for Faze Clan.
Yeah, and it's great to see. You just saw 3 players completely converge on the flag as well. They had a perfect setup. The problem is now, of course, Splyce, they're going to get a bit of a close spawn over by Cabin, and you see Jerd, he's going to burn some streaks as well, takes down that flag carrier. So great opportunity here for Splyce actually to go for the counter cap.
Did he not see him?
Yeah,
I don't think he did, Joe.
Yeah, and that's the same mistake we've seen time and time again. Players just need to hold that cross, try to watch that flag, because counter opportunities like this happen time and time again. Priestad just needs to be a little bit more patient.
Kind of at the point we were just making, what I was getting Faze props for is not overextending too many players to pull a flag out. They basically, all 4 players made sure to get the flag out there, and sadly they weren't able to get the cuts quick enough because the spawns get from cabin side are really close to the base. So I'd like to, obviously that's why they didn't get the cap and why we're in a stalemate right now.
Yep, as you said, stalemate situation. 2 minutes 20 to play. Of course, game still at 0-0, but look at what has just happened on that mini-map. Replays and Jerd basically holding hands, prancing around, still yet to... There you go, Replays. I love this play. Of course, being so quiet, doesn't have Mountain on. This could be the moment for Replays. Sneaking behind enemy lines here for the Faze Clan. Will he be able to find the pick on Tommy being so patient? This is exactly what you need. He springs into life, gets the return as well. And now you have yourself Faze Clan 1-0 up.
I don't care what anybody says. Replays is their MVP right now today. He's playing so well. That's such a fundamental play. Splyce, they do have an attack though, but streaks come in for Faze Clan. Attach. Probably going to call on that fighter pilot as well. Oh, actually, they're relaying another one, so great job from Faze. Another response, Replays. He was still alive in the base after taking Tommy down.
And Splyce is baffled right now. Like, they have no idea how Replays gets behind enemy lines. So all of a sudden, Tommy dies, and he's like, what the hell just happened? Now they're down 2 flags. And honestly, just the game got blown completely open.
And honestly, like, you have to give props to Faze for the right play there, but I think Splyce obviously overextended is trying to get the stop and didn't really care about Replays knowing he's at their base. So really making sure that they didn't go down 2-0. Now this game's kind of out of reach.
I will say that's one thing that Faze have been so impressive at today is not just getting 1 flag, but setting up an efficient relay, having the right map control, slaying out, and being able to make, you know, a 1-point lead, a 2-point lead very, very quickly.
And I like that play from Jerd. They decided to run at Ruins. The reason being, there was still a fighter pilot in play, but Attach played it very impatiently, winning that one-on-one. Only 50 seconds left. Faze have all the map control. This should be game number 3 for Faze Clan.
And again, on the Replays play, he played that so patient, no hesitation, like just really was understanding what he was trying to do from the start to finish, made the right play and letting the player go by. I mean, that's the best way to break stalemate, especially when there's so much room on the map at the base like that, and that was really clutch.
That just reminds me of a player like Karma would make, right? Just something a level ahead, a few steps ahead. A great job from Replays, and those are the game-changing moments. Faze, they could be top 3 in this tournament.
Yeah, of course the moments are great as well, but then you saw the play earlier as well when Faze is going to converge. Merc pointed out they had a really nice defensive stand where they get that clean 4 down, but they're over in bunker. They spend the next 10 seconds, you know, of course, that 7.5 second respawn delay. They get complete control of the entire map and lock Splyce in, and they wasted no time figuring out.
Have some fun with this one. Of course, the Bravo guys, I know they're casting this one as well, but as I said, we may as well have some fun with it as well. Joe, who's your money on?
I don't know. At this point, man, like, how do you go against Faze Clan? The run that they're making is just incredible. Replays already off to a hot start. It's just, they seem to be on the same page, everything working, and that's what we talk about, repetitions.
Yep.
And they've gotten so many here at Dallas over the past few days. They're just playing flawlessly.
To start the day, we said that if a team was to go on a run all the way to grand finals, they would play 9 sets of games, and if you then have to go through the losers, it's actually 10, because you have to reset the bracket if you want to walk away with the championship. Ray, that's a lot of Call of Duty.
It's a lot of COD, man. You better enjoy it, man. But yeah, no, I mean,
true.
We can't say enough, right? Repetition is a huge part. Your execution, your strategies, figuring out what works and what doesn't for your team. Vetoes as well, I think is important to notice as well, because it's a new feature. I'm sure some teams got to practice online, but maybe not as much online. Really getting an idea on how it's going to work out for their team. So I can't say enough. I mean, Faze is just showing off right now.
They are. Sadly, though, in terms of game 4, Chance, it is Splyce with the early lead, but nothing really too much to worry about because Faze, they are set up on this next hill.
Yeah, worth pointing out, Replay is getting pretty close to those score streaks as well. So he's got the FG, he's got 4 players going to be coming directly in front of him. You got to imagine this is going to be the best opportunity for him. A lot of nades coming in, though. So nothing quite cooking now, and there you go. Mad Cat, very important kill for him to pick up, and he gets 2 as well.
Does indeed. Splyce now retake control of the hill. Attach looking to find one, will not be able to do so. So just like that, Joe, Splyce retake control.
Yeah, they get control of those back spawns, and you can already see only 22 seconds left on this hill. The rotations are coming in. Tommy, though, doing a great job. But Faze, looks like they're going to get that lower docks hill first and get that set up. We'll see. Splyce now with about a 60-second lead going into this hill number 3.
And what's interesting is when Splyce played Optic Gaming, it was that rotation from street to lower dock, which they just didn't have any control of. Crim was rotating with 35, 40 seconds, and they turned that into such a big money
nice
hole.
catch.
And Splyce didn't seem to have really many answers to it. Now, though, it's like, okay, you hold my nade, then they're just going to team kill, and just like that, Faze get control of the hill.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Splyce does seem really slow on that docks rotation because they had the map bottom side at least completely open for them. They were just a little bit too cautious, but might work out. All's well that ends well. Priesty gets taken out as well by Jerd actually with the FG in hand. You don't see that very often, but hey, complete control of the docks hill. Tommy's getting a couple as well. The FGs right now just dominant from Splyce.
I think one thing we really have to understand and notice from teams is if you don't get an early rotation, teams can't start rushing and just valiantly rushing to the front. They have to play for spawns as well. I feel like there's a lot of times where teams give up streaks based on that. They're just kind of like just trying to break things hectically, used to kind of maybe how it was played in the past couple of years. It's really all about position, breaking down, pinching, and the more the game develops, that's the strategy you'll get from teams to try and break that successfully.
And I think the story right now for Splyce is not only are they winning rotations, they're winning basically everything. I mean, they're getting the breaks they're needed. They're already set up at the new hill. Faze, they got to that lower docks hill first, but Splyce, they execute very well, already in this barrel building, and now that lead is starting to grow.
Looking for more kills, and Tommy will find them. The current score, 111 to 31, and to your point now, Joe, Splyce just starting to run away with it a little bit here. Faze now getting some must-needed time chance.
Yeah, Faze did, though, take the time to go around back, make sure they get the spawns. Of course, though, Tommy, all he has to do in this situation is contest, but you see, the nades are always going to come into play. You truck them just over that little barrels area, stick the nades over top, and they do some damage. Mad Cat, though, with the pistol able to get 2 back-to-back, you don't see it very often just because of how fast that pistol shoots, but hey, he pulled it off.
Important to know, never mind, I was going to say close to streaks. So many players dying so close to streaks. One thing I've been curious to actually get your opinion on, Rambo. Haven't seen many players juggling the hill this event. Do you think it may be harder in World War II than it was in previous titles?
I think the situations aren't as happening as often as maybe we used to seeing for Boots game. I think once teams will figure it out in certain situations, but the hills are a little bigger. There's more stuff between the hills, so it's not as open, kind of what you used to see in old maps. So I think it's just more to get the play style the game offers. It doesn't really cater to that as much, which some people think it's good, some people think it's bad. Wait, those ways against But
it is.
Yeah, the one thing I'd like to kind of point out as well is that I think Faze has rotated first for at least like maybe more than half of these hills. They've seemed to want the rotations, but they're losing by 70 points. They're just not getting the kills on these hills. I feel like they're playing a little too hectic on the hills. We always see like maybe 2 or 3 guys on the hill. They're not really kind of playing their lives as well as they should be, and that's probably why this game is so separated right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Replays, again, the only player positive. Zuma and Attach, they're starting to turn around a little bit, but they were struggling there. And, on a map like this, you want your submachine gun players to be very aggressive, picking up those kills on all of those cuts. But, Faze does just get some garbage time, but all the hills are about to reset. Of
course, Splyce looking to try and force a Game 5 here in this losers bracket semifinal. The winner of this, of course, will go on to play Optic Gaming and in the losers bracket final, and then play for their ticket to the grand final, where Team Caliber does wait for them. Of course, competing for that $200,000 prize pool here at the CWL Dallas Open, presented by PlayStation 4. Mad Cat, bear in mind, does have a streak there as well for his utility as this game starts to get a little bit further on in. Statue Hill now, Joe, and it's still advantage Splyce.
Well, there's that juggle, right? He gets that 100 points. Now he's only 100 points away is Tommy on a 4 streak right now. We'll see, but replays, that's a big kill. So no streaks for Splyce, but still, Splyce with an 80-point lead, looking very solid in this game number 4.
Yeah, Mad Cat does have that glide bomb in his back pocket, but similar situation as the last time. Faze is going to be winning the rotation battle, it seems, over towards that sandbags hill. But again, glide bomb in the back pocket, you might just use that right off the bat. It's going to be interesting to see how Splyce Splyce tries to play it. But again, a lot of things in their favor. They got more than a 100-point lead.
I mean, yeah, the slaying also speaks for this, right? Like, we've seen games where teams getting outslayed or not winning games, but I think the one thing you don't see very often is when the SMGs are clearly getting outslayed by the other team's SMGs. That's when you see a big score difference like this. And right now, Zuma and Attach having a rough time there in the SMG department, not really getting the kills on the hardpoint they should be getting when they have position, and that's probably why inherently that Splyce is breaking these hills left and right when they do have position.
Right, you made that point, you know, a few moments ago, a few rotations ago, and it's almost a similar thing, right? You have Faze rotating early, getting the initial time, and Splyce just brute forcing their way straight through the hill. Jared, he's going to be looking to try and pick up a couple of players from Faze Clan on the other side of this hill, but Splyce really starting to take this lead and really cement it, if you will. As you said, 100 points here, Joe. This is going to be so tough down to Faze to fight back.
Yeah, you can already see on your mini-map, number 8, 7, and 5 already rotating, but it looks like there's one player attached. He just needs to stay alive, wait for his team to try and come back from that other hill. Big kills out of him. Let's see if they can force Splyce out. It's looking so. Attach, a huge two-piece right there, but still, he was the only player there. So Faze, now they have to try and break this nice hill.
I think it's one thing to note, like, he did get 2 kills there, but him staying alive was actually more important in getting those kills because he's just giving Splyce the better spawns while Faze is stuck, obviously, getting spawns on the last hill. So it's all about perspective, right? There's certain times where getting kills is really important, but timing those kills when the hardpoints move is also just as important as getting kills.
As it stands, 192 to 98. Splyce keeping a 100-point cushion, or just thereabout, as Tommy finds himself a double. Goes back into the hill and can prance straight out. Look how close to streaks he is here. Those final streaks could be the difference. No, Mad Cat dies on the next hard point, but I actually want to see Tommy's perspective here, to be honest with you. He's the player that is closest, of course, to those streaks. Keep your eye on the kill feed. There is one. That is Priester, so you know he has something. Question is, will he finally get himself fully streaked out? It's a 5 streak, 200 points away. Make that 105 out for the second. Will he find it? No, he won't, but surely damage done.
I like how Faze sort of set up that break, but they just took way too long. I mean, they really didn't get that break until the last 15 seconds. Now this hill already going towards those barrels.
Kind of what you're saying, Joe. I don't think they could afford to take that long to go around. And even, I mean, it's the right thing to do in most situations, but when you're down by this much with this game on this map as well, with mid-hill kind of being contested on both sides normally, you just don't have time to give it that much time.
Well, the glide bomb comes through, and you see the pick there on replays. 223 to 108. Time ticking here for Faze. If they're going to make a comeback, what a comeback it would be, but surely not. Of course, Splyce put themselves in such a good position to force a game 5. Again, to reiterate, the winner of this will advance guaranteed top 3 to the losers bracket final, where Optic Gaming is sat ready and waiting. Faze may be down, but they are by no means out just yet, Chance.
Yeah, I mean, even on this hill where Faze had spawns the entire time, they got virtually nothing out of it. One streak got expended, but again, Splyce just pretty much through and through have had a pretty fantastic time. Now they have the spawns for the next hill. They need, what, 24 seconds? They have more streaks, everything going right. An important gunfight over here, and yeah, the player didn't even shoot back. Mad Cat really in position, way ahead of time.
Looking very good indeed. Now it surely has just become a formality. The hardpoint rotates one more time. Splyce, they're ready and waiting, picking up the free time. And again, still have streaks at their disposal, Joe. Surely this is a Splyce win.
Yeah, this crane hill is just so difficult to break from that bottom. You really have to win that rotation. Splyce, as you can see, they're spawning in this back area. Faze, you know, they are contesting a little bit, but there are those streaks.
Yep.
This should be a Splyce win.
It should be indeed. No one from Faze is going to touch it, and Splyce will force a game 5 versus Faze Clan. We got a game 5. Seems fitting. USS Texas, of course, as we are live here at the Dallas Open. And we're going to kick things off on board with the Europeans. And it's going to be Jared with the sniper rifle out, Joe.
Yeah, and you heard Tommy in that recon video. If this is a sniper battle and if Jared's hitting his shots, well, they're going to win. But GG. Obviously, right off the start, a lot of aggression out of Faze, just hitting that bottom middle, controlling both of those top sort of window areas. A great job by them. Are you confused, Chance?
Yeah, Chance looked real confused.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where the hell bomb was. Tommy has it in the opposing side window, and of course, Jared's in the back of the spawn. So they're certainly just playing for a pick right now, but Tommy is not in the best spot. So he has to play his life real hard and wait for Jared to make something happen. But there's no reason for anyone from Faze to peek. So you see he's going to be forced to move up. There you go with Tatch. Pretty much a sniper on his own right there with the FG.
I kind of would have liked to seen Tommy make the play there instead of Jared. Jared's kind of like sniper. He's in a position where he can make something happen. He's still in this tower. You know someone's in the window. Maybe make Tommy go towards the bottom, try and get something B done. He has the bomb. So he has to go to B anyways, or at least a bomb site. It's always hard to see. It's always easier for us to say because we see her position. But yeah,
Codcaster is a pretty cool tool, right? It allows you to see everything. Hindsight, a wonderful 2020, of course. As it stands though, FaZe Clan start off strong 1-0 up here. And let's not forget, FaZe Clan trying to make history here. As potentially the first team ever in MLG history to win an event from the open bracket. Trust me when I tell you, it's not an easy feat whatsoever. Now, can FaZe Clan win round number 2? Of course, they go onto the attacking side, Joe.
Yeah, attach the sniper for FaZe. Just trying to find anything that he can. Priesta moving up onto that site. And you know, it looks like splyce, they're playing very far back. They're going to have to try and retake this as they just give this plan away.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like that very much. Especially when it's a setup that FaZe has right now. It's going to be a tough one to break. It's good entry by Tommy, though.
4v3. Priesta down and out for the count this round. Make that a 3v3. Trades come through. Snipers back and forth between both teams.
Oh, there's Jerd.
Jerd
sniping very well, as Tommy said. If he's hitting those, we're going to win. So he is very confident, Jerd, with that sniper rifle. And there we go. A great retake. And really just starts with that first pick by Tommy on Priesta. Priesta should just be proning on the bomb, letting attach watch over him, and just looking at that bottom area. And
important to note as well, I believe they give Jerd the defuse there as well. Chance that's going to put him a little bit closer towards those streaks.
Yeah, no, I do agree with Ray, though. Like, I don't think you should give the bomb plant down for free like that. I wouldn't trust the retake to work out with Jerd hitting snipes like that consistently, because you can just listen for the bomb plant anyways. But hey, if it works, it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Jerd, of course, again back in the map with the sniper, and of course he's staring at top ladder, so he's actually doing a decent job for his team right there, at least covering over something until Bans can get there safely.
We see some quick adjustments from splyce here, really going for their winning control. We saw 2 players from FaZe last round go for their winning control, so they're not giving up middle that easily this time, and this may turn in their favor.
Could potentially do. Of course, Jerd still with the sniper rifle out. We'll go over to Tommy's perspective now. Of course, a veteran from the European community. Flicking over to Madcat now, who's a player who, of course, who's had many successes over in North America. Unfortunately, though, he will find the first kill. Tommy does get traded. So now you have yourself a 3 versus 2 in favor of splyce, Joe.
Yeah, and Priesta, you can see on your screen just dodging everything you can, trying to stay alive, diving everywhere. But, you know, attach does go down by Vance. A great round out of splyce, just taking their time, trying to bait that bomb site out. That first blood always helps, though, as well.
I feel like that's the key as well for splyce. That slow, methodical play style, right? Play for that first pick, make sure you have that map control, and then really just kind of collapse on FaZe. And it's working so far.
And kind of the opposite to that, the round that FaZe did win was playing really aggressive, trying to collapse on the sniper play, really making sure that Jerd hasn't that comfortable shot and forces them out of position. So I think we're going to have to see some more of that out of FaZe if they want to win this.
We'll see if they do adapt now. Of course, FaZe back onto the attacking side. splyce with the advantage, though, chance 2-1. It's going to be tough for FaZe to come back into this one.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going for potentially a strat that splyce uses against them. That might be another opportunity of, again, bomb going down for free. I don't even think the challenge is coming in right away. So it's worked out once for splyce for the retake, but we're going to see if they can make magic happen again.
I really want to see FaZe just drop bomb position here. They really don't need to control this. I think it's important for splyce to understand they have a sniper on the other side, so I don't think you're going to see any like free diffuses.
Okay.
Is that a crack?
Okay.
Looked like it.
All right, Jerd, we get it. We get it. You're good with a sniper rifle, but calm yourself. That would have been impressive, though.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Well, he knows he's there. Okay, well, Jerd, clearly very good eyesight, it seems. Attached now, 1v2, though, 14 seconds left. You know they have to be on the bomb. And unfortunately, he will not be able to find that pick, and splyce look good now, Joe.
Just these retakes. I mean, FaZe is getting everything that they want. They want the bomb down. You can watch it from so many different angles, and splyce is just getting all the kills that they need.
I'm really not a fan of Priesta staying on the bomb site after he plants. I really don't feel like it's important to have a player right next to the bomb site there, because there's so many angles you're trying to cover, and your team's trying to cover the rest of the map. They're not really worried about people pushing you on the bomb site. So it's really about kind of focusing your lines of sight for all the players in the same areas to make sure they get the kills when splyce start pushing them.
I would be curious to just go back and watch that round to see if Jerd potentially did have time to pick up that defuse. The defuse obviously goes over to Madcat, I believe it is, which was going to put 2 players close to streaks. But of course, if Jerd had gone for the defuse, he would have had streaks already. Could that potentially be a costly mistake? Of course, Jerd is getting a fair amount of trades with the sniper rifle, a couple of first bloods as well. But of course, neither player taking the bomb either, so you're not going to get the points for planting. So you're now in this weird situation where you're praying they don't get picked just like that. Jerd goes down. No streaks for splyce.
Looking at the bigger picture, though, I love splyce's position on a mind game sense. They both times they gave up the bomb at B. They got the defuse both times. The retake seemed pretty simple, nothing really crazy going on. Now Faze might feel forced to go A, and even if they get the B, Faze gets the B plan, and Splyce doesn't really feel pressured. So I mean, from a Splyce perspective, you really got to feel great about their game right now.
For me, Mad Cat really is going to be crucial here. The only remaining player close to those streaks for Splyce.
Yeah, no, the reason Tommy's able to hit that down is because they smoked the bomb up. He creeps up to that corner, but replays just wall bangs that little area. Now the bomb not even planted for Splyce, so this is going to be a very hard 4v2. Priest picking up Mad Cat, and well, now it's just Bans. Can he try and do something?
Oh, that could have been a little better lucky timing there, but it isn't to be.
I'm not entirely sure about that bomb plant position, though. That seemed kind of interesting. Maybe you're trying to dodge nades and whatnot. But
yeah, so I think he got to that corner, so he didn't want to cross back over. Since they were watching that cross, he wanted to just plant right where he could.
That's fair, but then your team has no positioning around that, right? Like, there's nothing you can do to stop a defuse.
Got the bomb down.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what happened.
It's a man disadvantage as well. It's not like they had the numbers. They don't have the numbers. You go for the plant, you die immediately. But even if he was successful, it's still a 3v4 and the bomb's on the wrong side. Like, yeah, again, I'm not a fan. I think they need to try to get the bomb down a little bit sooner. For Jerd to snipe in the back, it's so easy to watch over with the sniper. But, I mean, hey, they're just, afraid of the nades for the moment.
Now, heading into round 6, of course, it is still Splyce with the advantage. Looking at replays off the start, he's been a real big pillar of success there.
I love Faze's switch here to actually go and looking for the pick before they go for a plant. Last year, they kind of ignoring the kills. They knew they had B for free, so they went just for the dead plant. But this time, they're looking for the kills on the map, changing it up, and Splyce has to react now, and then it's not doing a really good job at it.
Yeah, and I think similar to what Chance said on Splyce's next offense, I want to see them just go for a quick plant every single time. FaZe has played very patient on their side of the map because simply Splyce hasn't planted it very fast. So they have to change that up, change that game plan. We'll see on Splyce's next attack, but Jerd in a 1v4 situation.
Yeah, I doubt Jerd is going to be able to clutch this. Bomb goes down as well. Jerd really left between a rock and a hard place. The shots come through. FaZe tie things up 3-3, of course, in this game 5. I really quick, I just got some stats, Ray, and this is something that I would love to get your feedback on here. You kind of asked for it, and JP, the stats guy, our wizard in the back, he provided for us. FaZe in terms of CTF, 9-0 in the game mode. They have a 52% capture percentage. So every 1 and 2 flags, they basically pull their capping. An 89% return percentage. They've in total capped 23 flags. They've only conceded 4.
I mean, that says a lot about map control in that mode. I mean, hopefully we get to see FaZe play it again, but I mean, we still got to finish the game out, right?
They have to win the search first, right, before we get to see him in CTF one more time. Of course, this one, such a close game 5, all tied up 3-3. Jerd again, though, with the sniper, Joe, finds first blood.
Yeah, but Priest in a very sneaky position. Tommy throws that smoke down, just trying to get that. Wow, he actually hits him twice through the wall.
What?
3 times.
No! Oh! What? Are you...
Ray!
Ray!
Man. Ray! Come on, Ray.
That could have been a kill right there.
Priest was just hungry. He was very hungry. He's been playing all day. He said, you know what? I'll eat all 4 of those Car 98K bullets. I heard they have like 50 grams of protein in each.
50 grams? I'll take some.
To be fair, he was shooting the feet through a
wall.
wall.
True,
Like, you get less damage for shooting the feet as well, and then he's shooting through a wall that's thick. And to be honest, just to finish that, I'm pretty sure he was behind the second piece of cover in the room.
Yeah.
He wasn't laying right next to the wall, so shooting through that much cover,
Can we get that in slow-mo? I would love to see the final shot in slow-mo.
He was still shooting through the wall.
They still won the round. They won the round.
Okay.
That's all that needs to be said.
Can you imagine the cost of Jerd?
Forget about it.
One shot. Okay, now he's one shot. No, wait, now he's one shot. What the hell is going on? But no, yeah, I think Ray's definitely right. There was that second piece of cover. Probably that was there, but Ray, come on.
Could have been 3 or 4.
The best part was everyone's faces here on the desk. Ray looked confused. Chad looked confused. Joe was like, well, okay. That was pretty funny. But to your point, of course, shooting through the cover and shooting the feet as well.
Great adjustments out of Splyce. They know that FaZe has been leaning towards that B bomb site. Tommy gets very aggressive, picks up that first blood. Priest trying to get a trade here. Great job getting across to that bomb, and look at this. Just going for it, but Mad Cat with a great grenade.
Now you have yourself. Oh! Okay, replays. Calm down there, big fella. 1v2 situation. Zuma versus Jerd and Mad Cat.
Should have just done it.
You got to have the bomb down there. You're in a 1v2. You're not in a situation to really give up position, or you're not really have much going on with your team there. So, but hey,
he's got this one.
Yeah, even before he stops and rotates back. Oh no, bomb does go down at beat. Zuma. Oh. What can you do? I think Jerd just saw him cross.
He's being sneaky.
He's not very sneaky. That's a grenade. Oh, hold it.
Touchdown.
Mad Cat gets the kill anyway. Splyce about to be 5-3 up, and Madcat will take the defuse as well.
Yeah, and we saw something like that happen earlier with accuracy, where, you know, if you plant the bomb at B, players like going to that hall, but if you know they were originally going to be watching over A from that back plat, and snipers always do, I don't think you should push towards them in hall. Just get control of Cafe, play the top windows, mix things up a little bit, but again, 2v1, there's not really much you can do.
Yeah, Zuma just trying to play around the fact that he had a PPSH. The other guys, they just had long-range weapons, but, you know, a good attempt for Zuma, but Jared saw that last bit of information. We'll see if Splyce changes anything up on their offense.
Pressure on FaZe Clan. They now need to win 3 rounds back-to-back to stay alive here at the CWL Dallas Open. Can they do it, or will we potentially have a Splyce versus Optic Gaming rematch in our losers bracket? Of course, the first time we saw that, it went all the way to a Game 5. Splyce arguably could have won it as well. One thing's for sure, our championship games here at the CWL Dallas Open, not disappointing thus far. Jared looking for the snipe and connects with it as well. Attach goes down. First blood once again to the King of Europe.
That's such a big kill.
Didn't have to put 4 bullets that time in him.
No.
Just the one. Just the one this time. Can he find the second? He knows the guy's up top, but no, the counter snipe comes through.
2v2. But they know Priest is on the bomb site again. It's such a tough position to play for. Priest makes a huge kill there. Now they got to play together. Now this is where replays, they just have to stick together regardless of the position.
Bear in mind, look how close Madcat is to streaks here. You may not win it, but you could potentially secure streaks for the latter rounds. Replays staring down the scope, waiting to see if Madcat will peek around the corner. With 16 seconds left, if you're Madcat, you have to run away. You have to play smarter. You have to.
Doesn't look like he looks like he's trying to find a kill. I don't know if I agree with this, but now he's just laying down.
He's playing the exits. I like this play, to be honest. Like, I mean, where the bomb position was in comparison to, well, they know he has a sniper intercept and Priest on the bomb site. The worst comes to worst, you get the first kill, you're going to trade it out. Maybe we would have got streak, but still, yeah, the percentage play there is really to kind of stay alive. And like you said, play for streaks in the next round.
You have to. In a game 5, where your tournament life is on the line, those streaks could be huge. Realistically, the only player to me now that matters in this next round is Madcat. Does Madcat get those streaks? If he does, Splyce have a serious advantage.
What's wrong with the other players?
I mean, you know,
like Madcat.
We didn't see him.
Yeah.
That's a great angle from Jared. I love all the angles that these snipers have on this map. So many different ones they can use.
You like angles, Joe?
Yep.
So does Jared. Jared loves angles. Bance, first blood though. Splyce now one step closer. Of course, the bomb has been planted as well. Attach just trying to find a pick with the sniper rifle. Replays and Zuma both go down. This is a 4v2 now for Splyce. Make that a 4v1. Priest, last man alive. Can he somehow, some way clutch up? 25 seconds left. Put shots down. Can he find the bomb?
No,
He runs out of ammo. Doesn't find the 2-piece. And Splyce will stay alive in the...